got to be hard, not too hard. All I know is love will save the day. Thank you very much. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back you. There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain, when I believed in forever and everything would stay the same. Now my heart feels like December when somebody say your name, 'cause I can't reach out to call you, and you know I will one day. Hey, everybody hurts sometime, everybody hurts someday. Hey, hey, but everything will be alright. Go raise a glass and say, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back you. Do 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 do. Memories bring back you. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost, when I felt all of the hatred was too powerful to stop. Now my heart feels like an ember, and it's lighting up the dark. I'll carry these torches for you, and you know they'll never drop. Yeah. Everybody hurts sometime, everybody hurts someday. Hey, hey. But everything will be alright. Go raise a glass and say, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back you. Do 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 do. Memories bring back you. Do 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 do. Memories bring back you. If you were falling, then I would catch you. You need a light, I'll find a match. 'Cause I love the way you say good morning, and you'll take me the way I am. If you are chilly, here, take my sweater. Your head is aching, I'll make it better. 'Cause I love the way you call me baby, and you'll take me the way I am. I'd buy you Rogaine when you start losing all your hair, so unpetches to all you tear. 'Cause I love you more than I could ever promise, and you're if you were falling, then I would catch you. You need a light, I'll find a match, 'cause I love you more than I could ever promise, and you'll take me the way I am. You'll take me the way I am. You'll take me the way I am. Havana, ooh, na, na. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, na, na. He took me back to East Atlanta, na, na, na. Oh, but my heart is in Havana. There's something about his manners. He didn't walk up with how you do it. He said there's a lot of girls that can do it. I'm doing it forever in a minute. And Papa says he's got my love in him. He got me feeling like, ooh, I knew him when I met him. I loved him when I left him. Got me feeling like, ooh, and then I had to tell him I had to go. Ooh, na, 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 Havana, ooh, na, na. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, na, na. He took me back to East Atlanta, na, na, na. Oh, but my heart is in Havana. There's something about his manners. Jeffrey just graduated fresh on campus, fresh out Atlanta with no manners. Bumping like a traffic jam. I was quick to pay like Uncle Sam. Begging on me, craving on me, taking on me, shaking on me, kicking on me, get the bacon on me. History in the making on me. Point blank close range, let's see. If it costs $1 million, that's free. Havana, ooh, na, na. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, na, na. He took me back to East Atlanta, na, na, na. Oh, but my heart is in Havana. There's something about his manners. Oh, na, na, oh, na, na, na. Take me back, 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 like, oh, na, na, oh, na, na, na. Take me back, 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 like, oh, na, na, oh, na, na, na. Take me back, 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 like, oh, na, na, oh, na, na, na. me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Take me back, 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 oh na na, oh na na na. Yes, it's true, I'm not good for a one-night stand, but I still need your love, 'cause you're just a man. These nights never seem to go to plan. I don't want you to leave, will you hold my hand? I want you to stay with me, 'cause you're all I need. This ain't love, it's clear to see. So darling, stay with me. Why am I so emotional? No, it's not a good look, it's of self-control. Deep down I know this never works. I don't want you to leave so it doesn't hurt. I want you to stay with me, 'cause you're all I need. This ain't love, it's clear to see. So darling, stay with me. Three little birds sat on my window, and they told me I don't need to worry. Summer came like cinnamon, so sweet. Little girls double dutch on the concrete. Maybe sometimes we feel afraid, but it's alright. The more things seem to change, the more they stay the same. Oh, don't you hesitate, girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead, let your hair down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your hair down. You're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow. Blue as the sky, summer and lonely, sipping gin by the roadside. Don't you let those other boys fool you. Gotta love that awful yourself somewhere. Just more than I can take. Pity for pity's sake. Some nights get me awake. I thought that I was stronger. When you're gonna realize you don't even have to try any longer. Do what you want to. Girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead, let your hair down. Sapphire and faded jeans. I will get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your hair down. Girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead, let your hair down. Sapphire and faded jeans. I will get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your hair down. You're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow. Well, I had me put him into a map. Showed him all the things that he didn't understand. Whoa. Then I let him go. Now there's one from California who's been cursing my name, 'cause I found me a better lover in the UK. Yeah. Until I made my getaway. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, they're gonna run back to me, 'cause I'm the best baby that they never gotta keep. 1, 2, 3, they're gonna run back to me. They always wanna come, but they never wanna leave. Exes and the oh-ohs, they haunt me. I like girls, they want me to make them oh-oh, they won't let go. Exes and don't. Had a summer lover down in New Orleans. Kept him warm in winter, left him frozen in the spring. I might how the seasons go by. I get high and I love to get low. The hearts keep breaking and the heads just roll. You know, it's how the story goes. 1, 2, 3, they're gonna run back to me, 'cause I'm the best baby that they never gotta keep. 1, 2, 3, they're gonna run back to me. They always wanna come, but they never wanna leave. Exes and the oh-ohs, they haunt me. I like girls, they want me to make them oh-oh, they won't let go. My exes and the oh-ohs, they haunt me. I like girls, they want me to make them oh-oh, they won't let go. Exes and don't. Well, I thought it, but I kept it here. Cold, cold heart, I done by you. Some things looking better, baby, just passing through. Oh, no, 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 no. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again so fine. I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no. And this is what I should have said. Well, I thought it, but I kept it here. Cold, cold heart, I done by you. Some things looking better, baby, just passing through. Oh, no, 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 no. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again so fine. I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no. And this is what I should have said. Well, I thought it, but I kept it here. So right, so right, so right, so right. Oh, no, 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 no. See the moon, see the moon, see the moon. Oh, and you're looking at the sun. I'm not a fool, not a fool, not a fool. No, you're not fooling anyone. Oh, but when you're gone, when you're gone, when you're gone, oh, baby, all the lights go out. Thinking of that, baby, I was wrong, I was wrong, I was wrong. Come back to me, baby, we can work this out. Oh, baby, come and let me get to know you. Just another chance so that I can show you I won't let you down, I know. No, I won't let you down, I know. So I could be the one. 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 Seeing blue, seeing blue, seeing blue. Oh, and you see everything in red. And there's something that I wanna do for you, do for you, do for you. Oh, 'cause you got inside my head. Oh, but when you're gone, when you're gone, when you're gone, oh, baby, all the lights go out. Thinking of that, baby, I was wrong, I was wrong, I was wrong. Come back to me, baby, we can work this out. Oh, baby, come and let me get to know you. Just another chance so that I can show you I won't let you down, I know. No, I won't let you down, I know. So I could be the one. I could be the one. I could be the one, 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 be the one. I could be the one, 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 be the one. I could be the one, 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 be the one. I could be the one, 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 be the one. Oh, baby, come and let me get to know you. Just another chance so I can show you I won't let you down and no. No, I won't let you down and no. So I could be the one. 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 Every day people like you and me just wanna live naturally. Time told you and you told me nothing's gonna get us down. Can't you see? I said if it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. No, 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 no. I said if it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. People around making sounds and all kinds of noise. If I could only get there, then I could enjoy who they trying to be, who they trying to fool. Let's set the mood right now. Turn down the lights, it's time to cool it down. I said, if it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. No, 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 no. I said, if it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. Yesterday and what we could be, it don't matter. Getting more of what we don't need, it don't matter. Everything unless I'm with you, it doesn't matter to me, no. Bring it on down to me. Say it on down to me. Bring it on down to me. I said, if it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. No, 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 no. I said, if it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. I said, if it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. No, 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 no. If it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. No, 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 no. I said if it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. No, 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 no. I said if it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. Well, you done me and you bet I felt it. I tried to reach over here so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool time ran out, I'll be giving it my bestest. And nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. I reckon again it's my turn to win some, learn some, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Do 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 do. are deep, I will nibble your ear. Whoa, I haven't spent away too long to get my tongue in the mirror. I'm bending over backwards just to try to see it clearer. My breath fogged up the glass, so I drew your face and I laughed. I guess what I'll be saying is there ain't no better reason to rid yourself of vanities and just go with the seasons. It's what we aim to do. Our name is our virtue, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Open up your mind and see like me. Open scared of dentists in the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. Oh, my friends are turning green. You're the magician's assistant in their dream. Ooh, oh, and they come unstuck, lady, running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your lieutenant. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you wanna sing the words wrong. There's this movie that I think you like. This guy decides to quit his job and move to New York City, a cowboy running from himself, and she's been living on the highest share. Ooh, oh, and they come unstuck, lady, running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your listening man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you wanna sing the words on. I just wanna know if you're gonna stay. I just gotta know. I can't have it any other way. I swear she's destined for the screen, closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that you've ever seen. Ooh, oh, and they come unstuck, lady, running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your listening man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you wanna sing words wrong. Oh, lady, running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your listening man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you wanna sing words wrong. Thank you very much. I'm so in love with you. Oh, whatever you wanna do is alright with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. I want to spend my life with you. Since we've been together, ooh, loving you forever is what I need. Let me be the one you come round and told. together. Ooh, loving you weather, weather. Times are good or bad, happy or sad. Good or bad, happy or sad. Good or bad, happy or sad. Let's stay together. Thank you so much, everyone. We're Andrea and Louie. Congratulations, all the graduates.
Please ensure that all electronic devices are switched off. Graduates, you are reminded that protocol requires that you take off your mortarboard bonnet for the national anthem. With the assembly, please stand for the entrance of the academic procession.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor and President, distinguished guests, members of the official party, university staff, graduates and guests. Good afternoon. Welcome to this James Cook University Graduation Ceremony. Would you please remain standing for the National Anthem, which will be sung by Miss Andrea Alamay.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you. Please be seated. Chancellor, at James Cook University, we acknowledge with respect the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples as the first peoples, educators and innovators of this country. Today, we are on the lands of the Gimoy Wulugurukaba Yindi people. The Yindiji tribe is one of the largest in the Cairns region, made up of 8 clans. Gimoy is a traditional place name for the Cairns city area and means slippery blue fig in the Yidindi language. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and to those of their neighbouring people, the Yirraganji and Jabagai people. I extend this respect to JCU's distinguished Australian, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students, graduates and staff. We are assembled here today to confer James Cook University Awards. May I take this opportunity to introduce members of the official party. My name is Mr. Russ Parker and I am today's Ceremony Marshal. From my right, Professor Lee Stewart, Dean of the College of Healthcare Sciences. Professor Richard Murray, Dean of the College of Medicine and Dentistry. Associate Professor Hilary Whitehouse, Deputy Dean of Graduate Research. Ms. Tricia Brand, Deputy Vice-Chancellor of the Division of Services and Resources. Professor Marie Dinan Thompson, Deputy Vice-Chancellor of the Division of Education. The University Secretary, Mr. Ian Troop. Mr. Troop is today's Mace Bearer. Ms. Giselle Bovink, Deputy University Secretary. The University's Chancellor, Mr. Bill Tudell. Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Simon Biggs. Former University Deputy Chancellor, Mr. Peter Phillips. Mr. Phillips will be awarded an honorary doctorate at today's ceremony. Mr. Nick Trompf, the Chairman of Advanced Cairns. Mr. Trompf will deliver today's occasional address. Former Chancellor, Lieutenant General Retired Dr. John Gray, Companion of the Order of Australia. Former Vice-Chancellor, Emeritus Professor Sandra Harding, Officer of the Order of Australia. Ms. Jane Arlett, the University's Deputy Chancellor. Former Council Member, Dr. Cam Charlton. Professor Stephen Naylor, Chair of the University's Academic Board. Chancellor, I invite you to address the Assembly.
Good afternoon. I warmly acknowledge today Professor Simon Biggs, our Vice-Chancellor and President, Ms. Jane Arlett, our Deputy Chancellor, Mr. Peter Phillips, today's Honorary Doctorate recipient and former Deputy Chancellor, Lieutenant General Dr. John Gray, retired, Companion of the Order of Australia, former Chancellor of James Cook University, Dr. Cam Charlton, former Deputy Chancellor of James Cook University, Emeritus Professor Sandra Harding, Officer of the Order of Australia, former Vice Chancellor of JCU, Mr. Nick Tromp, our Distinguished Occasional Speaker, Ms. Catherine Rowan, our Graduate Speaker, members of the official party, members of JCU's governing body, the Council, distinguished guests, parents, ladies and gentlemen, and most important of all, our graduating students. Warm thanks also to Andrea Alame for her stirring rendition again of our national anthem and for her excellent pre-ceremony entertainment. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to this afternoon's graduation ceremony, whether you are joining us in person or online. Today is all about celebrating the hard work and commitment of our graduates and their families and the dedication of our JCU staff. Throughout the afternoon, I'm sure you will hear many encouraging words from our speakers, reflecting on the particularly meritorious achievement of our graduates in achieving this milestone in the unusually challenging circumstances of recent years. I thank all of you, our graduates, for the fortitude you have displayed during what was one of the most disruptive times at university for any student. During the global pandemic, you have endured isolation, loneliness, travel restrictions, loss, and more. You have demonstrated tremendous resilience and not just managed to continue your education, but to excel in the face of adversity. Congratulations to you and well done. I echo those congratulations to our JCU staff, and I thank them for the support they have afforded our students. Recent years have also thrown up particular challenges for our university at the governance level, including for our financial viability and sustainability. In facing these challenges and seeking to seize upon the opportunities which accompany them, Council and the university more broadly have been very fortunate indeed to have as chair of our Finance Committee and later also as our Deputy Chancellor, the man we will be honouring later in this ceremony as an Honorary Doctor of the University, Mr. Peter Phillips. We will be hearing more about just how much Peter Phillips has contributed to JCU a little later in the ceremony. I'll therefore confine myself here to observe that it will be a particular personal delight for me to confer that award. As Chancellor, I could simply not have asked for more in a Deputy Chancellor and colleague, supportive, committed, wise and good-humoured, and a selfless servant of James Cook University over many years. I am greatly indebted to him. It's a measure of the esteem in which Peter Phillips is held that we have among us on stage this afternoon, as you've heard, the former Chancellor, Lieutenant General Dr. John Gray, the former Vice-Chancellor, Emeritus Professor Sandra Harding, the former Chancellor, Dr. Cam Charlton, as well as our current Deputy Chancellor, Jane Arlett, who are present today to support us in honouring Peter's achievements. That is in addition to a number of other special guests of Peter's from Advanced Cairns and from his family, who I know are very dear to Peter's heart, which is a large and generous one. Also present in the audience today, I'm delighted to say, is Dr. Clive Scarrett, Chairman of the Board of JCU Dental and also an Honorary Doctor of our university, and also the Honourable Curtis Pitt MP, a graduate of James Cook University and the Speaker of the State Parliament. Now, graduates, today is all about you. The time's come to realise and to rejoice in the full significance of what you've achieved. I look forward very much to greeting you as you cross the stage, Ladies and gentlemen, when our graduates do begin their walk across the stage, keep an eye out for those who are wearing colourful sashes. I think there are 9. They are part of a very special tradition at JCU, initiated by students, acknowledging the cultural heritage and achievements of our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students. The sashes are presented to those students in a sashing ceremony that takes place just before the graduation ceremony. Graduates, there's another important group that deserves your acknowledgement and gratitude today. They are the family and friends who have been your support and your motivators throughout your studies. They celebrate alongside you, either here with us at this ceremony or from afar. What you have achieved is to lay the foundation of a new and exciting chapter in your lives, a future that will be filled with highs and lows and all kinds of responsibilities. As you move forward into the next phase, I urge you to keep your mind open to new possibilities and not to be afraid to take risks and to make mistakes. As the legendary American baseballer Babe Ruth put it, don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. And the oft-quoted Latin proverb puts it, fortune favours the brave. Please remember when you leave today that this doesn't have to be goodbye. Quite the opposite, in fact. Your university is invested in your future, proud of you, and we want to follow and celebrate your success. I do encourage you to stay in touch with JCU through our alumni network. My wife, Chris, a JCU graduate too, who is with us today, and I certainly are glad that we did. We want to follow your progress through life and rejoice with you in your successes. Thank you and good luck.
Chancellor, I call upon the Chair of the Academic Board, Professor Stephen Naylor, to present the graduating students.
Will all graduating students please stand? Chancellor, I certify to you and to the University that all graduates standing before you today have fulfilled the requirements prescribed by the University, and I ask that you admit them to their respective awards.
In the name of the University Council, and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit candidates so approved and congratulate and warmly welcome you as James Cook University alumni.
Will all graduates please be seated?
Chancellor, the awarding of Doctor of Philosophy degrees has a special place in our graduation ceremony. It is one of the highest qualifications which the University awards. These degrees are awarded for the successful completion of a significant piece of independent research, sustained in its scholarly character and one that makes an original contribution to the field. External examination is always involved. 12 candidates are to be presented today. Associate Professor Hilary Whitehouse, Deputy Dean of Graduate Research, will present the graduates and acknowledge their supervisors, and Professor Stephen Naylor, Chair of the Academic Board, will read their thesis abstracts.
Good afternoon. It is with great pleasure that we start with the first of our graduates this afternoon, Jennifer Lynette Mann. Dr. Mann's studies were undertaken in the discipline of Natural and Physical Sciences under the supervision of Associate Professor Susan Devine and Professor Robin McDermott.
Chancellor, Dr. Mann evaluated the impact of Open Arch, an integrated program of care for older persons with complex needs. The trial was unable to detect a significant difference in outcomes. However, findings were of clinical importance. Open Arch has been currently funded by the Queensland Health. Chancellor, I present Dr. Mann.
Our second graduate this afternoon is Doris Pearce. Dr. Pearce's studies were undertaken in the discipline of medical science under the supervision of Dr. Paul Giacomin, Professor Robin McDermott, and Dr. Matt Field.
Chancellor, Dr. Pearce investigated experimental hookworm infection in humans with metabolic disease. She found that infection with 20 hookworm larvae significantly improved insulin resistance that was associated with body mass reductions in this cohort. The results confirm the protective role of worm infection as a therapeutic tool against metabolic disease. Chancellor, I present Dr. Pearce.
Our third graduate this afternoon is Sylvia Louisa Sagiomo. Dr. Sagiomo's studies were undertaken in the discipline of medical science under the supervision of Dr. David Wilson and Professor Narelle Daly.
Chancellor, Dr. Sagiomo studied the venoms of 4 species of jellyfish and stonefish. She found that venoms can be studied to understand their mechanisms of action to improve treatment modalities of sting victims. In addition, venoms can also be used for drug discovery that can have positive impacts for human health. Chancellor, I present Dr. Sagiomo.
Our next graduate is Rosita Takju Chilaris. Dr. Takju Chilaris' studies were undertaken in the discipline of biological sciences under the supervision of Professor Narelle Daly, Dr. Michael Smout and Dr. David Wilson.
Chancellor, Dr. Takju explored the potential of peptides as wound healing agents. She identified a bioactive region involved in cell proliferation and provided insight into the evolution of a disulfide-rich motif. These outcomes are likely to facilitate future drug development studies aimed at developing novel wound healing agents for diabetic ulcers. Chancellor, I present Dr. Takju.
Our next graduate is Rachel Tombe. Dr. Tombe's studies were undertaken in the discipline of medical studies, yes, under the supervision of Associate Professor David McLaren and Professor Sarah Larkins.
Chancellor, Dr. Tombe investigated the health system's capacity to provide medical male circumcision in high HIV burden settings in PNG. She found that it is feasible to provide medical male circumcision with careful planning and governance, financing, health workforce, procurement and information systems to suit local social, cultural and health system needs. Chancellor, I present Dr. Tombe.
Our next graduate is Maddie Bornschlegel. Dr. Bornschlegel's studies were undertaken in the discipline of psychology under the supervision of Associate Professor Narina Catabiano and Dr. Catherine Meldrum and Dr. Satine Winter.
Chancellor, Dr. Bornschlegel investigated factors related to academic help-seeking behaviour in higher education. She found that reducing stigma, increasing positive attitudes and subjective norm, ensuring satisfaction and providing timely and targeted promotion increase engagement with academic support. Universities can use these findings to improve academic support and ultimately student success. Chancellor, I present Dr. Bornschlegel.
Our next graduate is Humphreys Harrington. Dr. Harrington's studies were undertaken in the discipline of public health under the supervision of Associate Professor David McLaren, Professor Sarah Larkins and Professor Maxine Whittaker.
Chancellor, Dr. Harrington investigated 4 models used to build health system research capacity in the Solomon Islands. She found the social, cultural and health system factors interrelated with religious and spiritual beliefs to both support and impede research systems. For research to thrive, all forms of knowledge need to be understood and incorporated. Chancellor, I present Dr. Harrington.
Our next graduate is Denise Patricia Craig. Dr. Craig's studies were undertaken in the discipline of health under the supervision of Associate Professor Robin Ray, Associate Professor Amanda Sherkor, and Dr. Denise Harvey.
Chancellor, Dr. Craig OAM investigated North Queensland Hospital doctors' response to advanced care plans of patients with neurodegenerative illness. She found that doctors favoured shared decision-making with families over advanced care plans. Results may inform policy and practice initiatives to improve alignment between the premise of advanced care plans and medical practice. Chancellor, I present Dr. Craig.
Our next graduate is Mary O'Loughlin. Dr. O'Loughlin's studies were undertaken in the discipline of health under the supervision of Dr. Linton Harris, Professor Robin McDermott, Professor Karen West, and Professor Jane Mills.
Chancellor, Dr. O'Loughlin explored the experiences of adults living with chronic conditions in Cairns to inform the development of a new model of primary health care. She found a need to better support those living with uncommon chronic conditions and to implement authentic, person-led approaches to care delivery. Chancellor, I present Dr. O'Loughlin.
Our next graduate is Vanessa Leonie Spark. Dr. Spark's studies were undertaken in the discipline of health under the supervision of Professor Karen West and Associate Professor David McLaren.
Chancellor, Dr. Spark explored how perceptions of disease causation and transmission influence infection control practice at Ato Ifi Adventist Hospital. She found germ theory was only one component. Social, cultural and spiritual beliefs also guided practice. Local beliefs must be incorporated into infection control programs to reduce hospital-acquired infections in the Pacific. Chancellor, I present Dr. Spark.
Our next graduate is Thomas Swan. Dr. Swan's studies were undertaken in the discipline of public health under the supervision of Professor Thomas Burcott, Dr. Tanya Russell, Dr. Matt Field, and Professor Scott Ritchie.
Chancellor, Dr. Swan studied ways to improve surveillance and control of the tiger mosquito in the Torres Strait. He found that tiger mosquitoes disperse frequently between islands, optimised a trap to capture tiger mosquitoes, and investigated tiger mosquito sugar feeding behaviour. Queensland Health may utilise these findings to improve current surveillance and control for tiger mosquitoes. Dr. Swan's thesis was passed cum laude, meaning with distinction. Chancellor, I present Dr. Swan.
Our next graduate is Stephen John Maxwell. Dr. Maxwell's studies were undertaken in the discipline of ecology and evolution under the supervision of Dr. Tasman Reimer and Dr. Bradley Condon.
Chancellor, Dr. Maxwell's dissertation presents a classical revision of Stromulus Ursus Linnae, 1758, post-Abbott, 1960, Molluscus neostrombiidae, and has resolved this monospecific group into 12 species. This involved a review and a presentation of novel theories in the area of speciation, hybridisation and glade recognition. Chancellor, I present Dr. Maxwell.
And last but not least, we have Joshua Stanley Spence. Dr. Spence. His studies were undertaken in the discipline of geology under the supervision of Dr. Ian Stanislav and Professor Paul Dirks.
Chancellor, Dr. Spence studied a 1.75 to 1.71 billion year tectonic event within the Mount Isa Inia. He found that this event can be distinguished from a younger mountain building event in the Isan orogeny, which aids regional mineral exploration models and understanding of evolution of the North Australian Craton. Chancellor, I present Dr. Spence. This concludes the presentation of the Doctor of Philosophy Awards.
Chancellor, in recognition of academic excellence, the University bestows an award to graduates whose doctoral research has been passed cum laude. I am pleased to announce that a medal for excellence for a doctoral research thesis is to be presented this afternoon. I call upon the Chairperson of the Academic Board, Professor Stephen Naylor, to present the recipient.
Chancellor, I present a graduate so honoured, Dr. Thomas Swan. We caught him off guard there, so this will be a grand entrance. Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of a medal for excellence for doctoral research theses.
Chancellor, I invite Professor Lee Stewart, Dean of the College of Healthcare Sciences, to present the College of Healthcare Sciences and the College of Public Health, Medical and Veterinary Sciences graduates.
Chancellor, I present a graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Public Health with distinction, Moira Matic. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Nursing Science, Carlo James Ayla Alalod. Sarah Aquenlina. Tegan Renee Ardley. Elise Atkins. Jacinta Bartis. Ruby Aberta. Michaela Brandimart. Emily Jane Burge. Chantel Burston. Portia Kate Canning. Anu Shandell. Alexandra Chioato. Emma Jean Pilgrim. Zolita Cook. Brooke Crowthers. Conrado Cruzi. Rosemary Carmen Cuspert. Taya David. Saskia May Davis. Hilary May Nazarita Di Vera. Mikasa Rose Donald. Georgia Rose Edwards. Grace Ehrling. Tamara Freeman. Gemma Galetta. Rihanna Ganley. Shelley Gannon. Kayla Garoni. Sandra Gorman. Christopher Hartley. And with the Sally Gould Prize, Fenella Hartley. Samantha Holt. Melissa Johnson. Stephanie Jones. Kumari Kaki. Vanessa Kazadi. Casey Lawrence. Cecilia Margaret Waseng Lenoy Dong. Chloe Maggs. Manjeewanot Kaur. Katligo Kathy Ponasai Mbiza. Tiffany Lee McDougall. Brooke Mollenhauer. Navdeep Kaur. Tulani Incube. Angela Nangan. Sophia Rose Nolan. Erica Pabe. Taylor Phelan. Reese Rorter. Olivia Reynolds. Rachel Richardson. Jessica Russell. Jasmine Salvaris. Kimberly DeGino Neo Santos. Thomas Schofield. Holly Shadbolt. Bim Maya Silwal. Japneet Singh. Emma Lee Smith. Mary Spanton. Eleni Stewart. Tegan Strong. Poppy Thallon. Shannon Tobiano. Crystal Marie Quilla Tree. Ashley Watson. Emily Leanne White. Salisha Williams. Tegan Willis. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Nursing Science with distinction. Alessia Aloya. Ricky Lee Bell. Natasha Ingham. Catherine Rowan. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Psychological Science. Carla Castro Biarana. Simone Kay. Chancellor, I present a graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Psychological Science. Christian Cortuna. Chancellor, I present a graduate awarded the degree of Graduate Diploma of Nursing, Michelle Manjapit Bihasa. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Nursing, Jason Donan. Emma Pollock. Michelle Lee Rempus. Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of these graduates.
Chancellor, I invite Professor Richard Murray, Dean of the College of Medicine and Dentistry, to present college graduates.
Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Dental Surgery. Nisha Ahilan. Jessley David Arkion. Fatima Ali. Lauren Stephanie Atard. Hashim Azam, Azmeh Bazali, Lara Bean, Matthew Kirenga Bikako, Michael William Bokta, and with the Henry Schein Prize for Clinical Excellence in Dentistry, Chandra Somaya Bola. Tian Amber Bill. Shanna Cansio. Kaylani Close. Oliver De Jersey. Mike Boyu Fay. Ty Ambrose Fenn. Julian Fung. Lewis Joseph Furlan. Harry Goodman. Linda Gualteri. Anjanay Gupta. Beatrice Jane Ho. Brooke Elise Hoffman. Amelia Huang. Timothy Oshmei Itanama. Amanda Leas Adel Jamil. Nithu Mary John. Morgan Schnee Kirkham. Janvri Chandresh Kotecha. Joshua Krieger. Phoebe Yvonne Creel. Sonia Kwon. Christopher Kiriako. Jennifer Lee. Sebin Lee. Victoria View Lee. Adam Han Lun Lei. Crystal Lenegan Dry. Chloe Elizabeth Wyatt Lowe. Jared Mayoki. Chantel Tsitsi Mazayi. Quinley McAllister. Noelle Juliet Melchiona. Rosemary Mina. Monica Monia. Katie Lucy Nastasi. Sili Baziso Ruvarashe Lina Nkamazi. Gabby Newman. Danica Rose O'Brien. Claire Gabrielle O'Mara. Paulina Senia Pitigala. Rushil Ranigar. Esther Rizk. Connor Lewis Rodner. Shane Showalter. Vipra Devi Singh. Caitlin Louise Smith. Surya Suresh. Hannah Sinot. Ka Ray Tan. Juliana Susan Tanios. Shanley Giganshi Thanki. William Tran. Joey Chu Yu Wong. Ronald Junji Yong. Jackie Zhao. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Dental Surgery with distinction. Victoria Pilar Fischer. Hermanus Johannes Huber Grobilar. Victoria Hathaway. Peter Khalil. And with the Endodontic Group Award in Clinical Excellence in Endodontics, Lewis Hanami Livingstone. Bianca Lachlan. With the Medical Indemnity Protection Society Book Prize for Simulated Dentistry, Lana Mirai Metman. And with the Queensland Graduate Chapter of the Delta Sigma Delta Dental Fraternity Prize, Emma Muscat. Vienna Neal. Lynn Ann Newen. Grace Toll. Patrick Tran. And with the Colgate Oral Care Graduation Prize, Chanel Vautrubeck. Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of graduates from the College of Medicine and Dentistry.
Chancellor, I now invite Professor Simon Biggs, Vice-Chancellor and President, to present Mr. Peter Phillips for admission to the degree of Honorary Doctor of the University.
James Cook University wishes to recognise Mr. Peter Phillips for his exceptional contribution to the university. Mr. Peter Phillips is a highly respected Cairns-based business leader who has played a major role in the local community and provided outstanding service to James Cook University. Since 2005, Mr. Phillips has held the role of Chief Executive Officer of Cairns Bank, advising the people of Cairns on financial matters while supporting and advocating for local businesses. He has held directorial appointments for several charitable organisations in the far north, including Cairns Couch and Access Community Housing. And he was an honorary auditor for the Queensland Lung Transplant Support Group Incorporated, and he is on the Board of Trustees for Harold's House Incorporated. JCU was extremely fortunate to have someone with such a long and distinguished record of service contribute significantly to the governance of the university.
Mr. Phillips first served on JCU Council's Audit Committee from 2004 for 5 years. He was then appointed as a full council member in 2009. Among his many roles while on council, Mr. Phillips served 5 years as chair of the Audit and Compliance Committee and 8 years as chair of the Finance Committee. In 2020, Mr. Phillips was elected unanimously as the Deputy Chancellor for a 2-year term, retiring from that position earlier this year. For 18 consecutive years, Mr. Phillips significantly contributed to the advancement of the university's well-being and reputation. He played a key role in continuing the financial integrity and security of the university. Mr. Phillips was dedicated to the university's strategic focus and highest governance standards, and acted in his roles with continual development and improvement at the forefront. Chancellor, in light of his exceptional contribution, Mr. Phillips will be recognised as an honorary doctor of the university.
In the name of the Council, and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit you, Peter Phillips, to the degree of Honorary Doctor of the University.
Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of the Honorary Doctorate Award. I now have great pleasure in inviting Dr. Peter Phillips to deliver an address to the Assembly.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My guidance in presenting here today is to reflect on the changes at JCU over the 18 years during which I was fortunate enough to have a formal role, in 2 minutes. Now, I'm up for a challenge, but seriously, 2 minutes is pushing it. One of the things I've learned in those 18 years is that the holder of the microphone can make the rules. So I'm just going to share with you one of my experiences. I received a call from the Chancellor last week letting me know the Council's decision to confer this award, and I readily accepted. This kind of thing just doesn't happen to people like me. I spent the next 2 days arguing with myself. Surely it's a mistake. Council's just being kind to me. But the thing that was nagging me is that I've seen behind the curtain. And I know the process behind honorary awards, and I know people who have previously been honoured. I know these awards are given on merit, so I was forced to think more deeply. Over the time I had with the university, I just did what was asked of me, to the best of my ability. Lots of little things, ordinary things. Let's face it, I spent all this time working with the people who sit behind me and others who've come before them. They're all so wise and knowledgeable. Yet here I am receiving this honour. I spent 2 days reflecting on what I'd been a part of, what has changed. There was no dental school in 2004. JCU Singapore wasn't controlled by JCU Australia. There was no reconciliation action plan. There was no accommodation in Cairns. There were so many things, really. It dawned on me that in reality, all those little things, all those ordinary things we do over time contribute to bigger things, and that everything we do is important. What to me was just doing my role was actually contributing to something much greater, something that is quite significant and clearly appreciated. To the graduates here today, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on your journey at JCU over the last few years. You can't do it right now, I've only got 2 minutes, but do it over the next few days. It's a worthwhile exercise. And I'll even give you a head start. You walk out of here today not just as university graduates, but as graduates of James Cook University, a world-class university. And thanks to the University Council's decision to recognise me, I can now legitimately walk among you. I know I've used up my 2 minutes, but I have a little bit more to say. It's very rarely a person can honestly claim to have done something entirely on their own. And in my case, I've had the support of my long-suffering wife, Eileen, over those 18 years. And I certainly would not be standing here if it was not for her. Eileen, I love you and I thank you. Back to the brief and the changes in 18 years. My physio, my dentist, my lawyer and my accountant are all now JCU graduates. I didn't seek them out, they're just there. Looking to the future, I'm hoping to get a doctor in there and hopefully, maybe not hopefully, see some of you. I'd also love to see my grandkids, Mia and Ava, up here getting their awards. Most of all, I'm hopeful that the people of North Queensland who thought they couldn't find out they can get a world-class qualification right here at James Cook University. Thank you all and good luck.
Chancellor, I'd now like to introduce Mr. Nick Tromp, today's occasional speaker. Since Mr. Tromp moved from Victoria to tropical North Queensland in 2001, he's played an active role as a senior business leader in the wider community. Mr. Tromp joined Advanced Cairns in 2018. After 2 years as Chief Executive Officer, he accepted the role of Executive Chairman, a role which combined that of Chief Executive and Chairman. He previously served 6 years on the Advanced Cairns board. Prior to Advanced Cairns, he had a 34-year career in media as a journalist, an editor, and in commercial management. Mr. Tromp was General Manager of Cairns' oldest business, the Cairns Post, for 11 years before promotion into more senior roles at News Corp Australia, ultimately heading all of its regional divisions from Hobart to Darwin, while still based in Cairns. Mr. Tromp has been a passionate advocate for the region, serving on a variety of voluntary boards, including Advanced Cairns, the Far North Queensland Amateur Turf Club, AFL Cairns, the Salvation Army Red Shield Appeal, and Events Cairns. Mr. Tromp and his family also run a stud beef cattle business on the Atherton tablelands. Chancellor, it's now my pleasure to invite Mr. Nick Tromp to deliver the occasional address.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you very much for the kind introduction. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the lands on which we meet today and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. I'd also like to acknowledge in particular JCU Chancellor Bill Twaddell, Vice-Chancellor and President Professor Simon Biggs, the Deputy Chancellor, members of the JCU Council and staff. From a personal perspective as well, two people that have played a huge role in JCU in the past, to Lieutenant General John Gray, retired, former Chancellor and also patron of Advanced Cairns, and to the former Vice-Chancellor and President of James Cook University, Professor Sandra Harding, who is actually the longest serving director in Advanced Cairns history. A special recognition to Peter Phillips, the man who's well known for running Cairns Bank, but his community contribution goes far beyond that, as you've heard. I welcome this afternoon to my wife Alison and the team from Advanced Cairns, and most importantly of all, to you, the 2022 Tropical Health and Medicine graduates of JCU and your special guests here today. Being a family member 5 years ago in Townsville, when our daughter Chloe graduated from veterinary science from JCU, I can relate to how all the family members feel today. So dignitaries who articulate these types of occasional addresses are almost always highly educated. Indeed, typically they have more letters after their surname than in the surname itself, and almost always have an honorific preceding their Christian name. And while I'm honoured to be asked and delighted to deliver today's occasional address, I have to begin with a confession. And my confession is that I would have to be one of the least educated people in this room. My undergraduate university studies lasted a princely 6 weeks as a would-be accountant at the then Ballarat College of Advanced Education way back in 1983. However, little did I realise that my decision to leave university and pursue another pathway would ultimately lead to a career built around one pillar, a career of storytelling. Hence the theme of my occasional address today, the art of storytelling and why it's more important now than ever. To begin with, I'll just take you on a journey of the next 10 minutes. I'll give you a little bit more background about myself. I'll tell you how I accidentally fell into storytelling and how it became my career for the next 40 years. I'll give you some hints around why authentic storytelling is far more important than elaborate storytelling. And I'll reiterate why storytelling is more important now than ever. From your perspective, I'll highlight the fact about how important it will be in your careers to be effective storytellers. And then I'll close with a glance forward to 6 years from now for what will be an historic presentation, hopefully in this very room, for graduates of the Tropical Health and Medicine Division in 2028. And I'll close with a testimonial from one of Australia's most powerful politicians. So firstly, briefly, a little bit about me. I'm one of 6 Tromp children from the Western Victorian town of Hamilton, once known for its affluence as the wool capital of the world in the heady days when 5 bales of wool would buy a new Mercedes-Benz. However, the Tromps were definitely the peasants and not the landed gentry, to use some outdated language, as Dad moved our tribe from one end of the state to the other, so he could progress his career from jackaroo to overseer, then farm manager, before finally leasing his own block. Our family upbringing was strict, and our parents demanded respect, but it was also loud, boisterous, and often highly competitive. From the cricket matches in the backyard to Sunday lunch for an extra serve of Mum's very special steamed chocolate pudding. We learned valuable life lessons around resilience, resourcefulness, and ensuring our message was heard. Our parents also drilled into us the importance of acting with integrity, a value about which I will elaborate later when it comes to storytelling. As the proverbial middle child in the household, on reflection, I felt deeply insecure and lacking in confidence when I left the relative comfort of home to head out into the big wide world of full-time work at 18 years of age. I'll never forget being MC of my older brother's wedding around about that age, so terrified that my knees were shaking behind the lectern uncontrollably as I stumbled and mumbled my way through. So how did I become a storyteller? As I mentioned earlier, I'd begun a university degree in 1983, having passed HSC just, with subjects of pure and applied mathematics, economics, legal studies and English. Hardly prerequisites for being a storyteller. I journeyed off to university, as I've said, but 6 weeks later I returned home for the Easter break, having spent my entire $520 in savings that I'd earned over the previous 6 months carting hay by hand in the heat, essentially with no money in my pocket and not sure of my future. With the 1982-3 drought having financially crippled the family, the bank of Mum and Dad was not going to come to the rescue. Fortuitously, the phone rang when I was home that Easter. It was the editor of the local paper calling me to offer me a job as a cadet journalist, a job I'd missed out on 12 months before. Thus began a career, as was mentioned earlier, of 34 years in media, which ranged from being a reporter to an editor to a television newsreader, a magazine and book publisher, and ultimately, as you heard, a senior News Corp executive. Arguably the most significant lesson I learned over that journey was the power of narrative, or storytelling, to use another description. I walked away from media in 2017 with no job to go to, although thankfully the bank balance was a bit healthier than when I was 18 at university. 6 months later, I landed a new job on behalf of Cairns and Far North Queensland when I became CEO of Advance Cairns. For those of you that don't know, Advance Cairns is a not-for-profit organisation funded by business and industry with the principal purpose of advocating to state and federal governments to secure infrastructure or policy support for this region. So I found myself again in the land of storytelling, to a very different audience and for a very different purpose, but storytelling nevertheless. Today, as you heard during my introduction, I remain very much involved with Advance Cairns as Chairman of the Board of Directors. And I'm proud to say that Advance Cairns is delivering tremendous results in terms of securing government support for this region. As you'll hear later, one of the big beneficiaries of these successes is JCU, and in particular, tropical health and medicine. When it comes to effective storytelling, you may recall I mentioned earlier a core Trump family value is to act with integrity. In storytelling, integrity is what often differentiates the authentic from the elaborate. An authentic storyteller knows his or her subject thoroughly, intimately understands their customers, crafts a clear narrative, and delivers it with skill and conviction. The elaborate storyteller, on the other hand, often relies on delivering with flair, flourish, and perhaps more fiction than facts. As we gather here to recognise you as graduates and cast our eye to 2023 and beyond, I'd like to put to you that effective storytelling has never been more important than today. Why? Because society is in the midst of one of the great revolutions in history, the digital information revolution. That revolution has transformed the way the public receives and significantly distributes information. In a media sense, way back in the days when I was a cub journalist, a handful of publishers and broadcasters dominated the storytelling landscape. Today, that power has fundamentally shifted, turbocharged by the smartphone, which has empowered every one of you in this room to become a publisher. As well, high-speed internet is enabling massive amounts of data to be shifted across the world in a nanosecond. This revolution has created a phenomenon known as information overload. I think we can all relate to that. People are constantly bombarded by information. Texts, emails, blogs, hashtags, video reels, and so on. Fake news is a real thing. And social media is so omnipresent, it has created its own new form of language. The result of all of this is the attention span of people has never been shorter. Confusion often reigns, and the public has lost faith in many of the institutions which once stood as pillars of society. In the largely unregulated world of the internet, the credibility of content varies greatly. So many of you are probably sitting here wondering how this relates to you. As budding medical practitioners, I'd like to highlight to you a couple of following things. It's true that your clinical skills will rightly take precedence in your career. They are the bedrock on which your future will be built. But I'd like to challenge you to give serious consideration to paying extra attention to your storytelling skills. While it's true that most of you won't have a career built entirely around storytelling like I've had, I'd remind you of what I said earlier. An authentic storyteller knows his or her subject thoroughly, intimately understands their customers, crafts a clear narrative, and delivers it with skill and conviction. In your case, also with a healthy dose of compassion. For a doctor or a nurse or a dentist, indeed any healthcare professional, firstly think bedside manner. It's often what differentiates you. Many of you will be clinically equivalent. Your bedside manner will be critical. Know your subject by listening to their symptoms. Understand and evaluate the clinical implications. Think through how you will communicate the solutions and deliver your messages with skill, conviction, and compassion. Think also about the digital age and the different ways physicians deliver their diagnoses, which is often not face-to-face, particularly for remote communities. Think carefully about changing expectations from consumers in terms of receiving their health care, as highlighted in a comprehensive study released last year by QUT. Having surveyed 520 patients and admitted to a major metropolitan hospital, Alexander Ogle-Hoberg et al. Found health services should offer patients multiple options for communicating about their recovery to ensure individual needs are appropriately met. And of course, last but not least, think Dr. Google and all of the challenges and opportunities that this phenomenon presents in terms of communication and your career. As I said, authentic storytelling delivered from credible sources and through multiple channels will be important to your careers and to your patients. So my challenge to you today is to think long and hard about whether your storytelling capabilities are fit for purpose in 2023 and beyond. So in closing, as I mentioned earlier, I'd like to take you forward to 2028. It will be an historic day for a group of Cairns graduates from the tropical health and medicine disciplines. An intake of 40 students next year will be the first at JCU to complete all 6 years of their medicine studies right here in Cairns. Now, how has this come about? As I alluded to earlier, one of the great advocacy wins secured by Advanced Cairns in partnership with JCU in the lead up to the recent federal election was extra Commonwealth supported places to enable JCU to offer a full Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery right here in Cairns. Clearly this is a highly relevant example of effective and authentic storytelling, about which I'll leave the final word to our new Federal Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, in a recent letter he sent to Advanced Cairns. The Treasurer wrote, "I want to particularly acknowledge the regular and cordial engagement from you and your organisation, and thank you for the briefings I've received on Advanced Cairns advocacy priorities, both in opposition and in the lead up to the October budget. I and the Albanese government remain firmly committed to far north Queensland, and I'm looking forward to getting back to Cairns in the near future." One of the most powerful politicians in Australia, recognising the art of our storytelling at Advanced Cairns. As most of you head off now for a well-earned break, I wish you all the very best with your future and hope your life story plays out beyond your imagination. And I'd just like to leave you with this thought. Never lose sight of the powerful, life-changing and potentially region-building impact you can have. You're about to embark on your greatest adventure. Make it count. Thank you.
I now have pleasure in inviting Ms. Catherine Rowan to deliver the graduate address.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor and President, Mr. Nick Trump, Deputy Chancellor, members of Council, members of staff, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow graduates. My name is Catherine Rowan, and I am honoured to stand before you today to deliver this year's graduate address. On behalf of all graduates, I would like to thank our occasional speaker, Mr. Nick Trump, Chair of Advanced Cairns. Thank you for sharing such inspiring words of support and guidance to our fellow graduates here today. The art of storytelling and effective communication is vital to us as healthcare professionals to ensure our patients' needs are met and to prevent illness within our community. I am certain that these words will be something we reflect on as we move forward into our respective chosen careers. I would now like to ask my fellow graduates and attending guests to show their appreciation by joining with me in a round of applause for Mr. Nick Trump. On behalf of all graduates, I would like to thank all parents, families, and friends who have supported and guided us over the last few years. Thank you. As we enter the workforce as essential workers, please know that it has been your words of love, support, and encouragement which has been essential to get us where we are today. I would also like to address all staff, our teachers, our mentors, our support system over the course of our chosen degrees. I will always remember a speech made on my first day at James Cook University, which concluded with the words, "If you take the best of each teacher here, you will have an exceptional career." You have helped shape us into resilient, confident graduates. And what we learn with pleasure, we never forget. And we look forward to demonstrating the exceptional and invaluable skills and knowledge you have taught us in our respected chosen fields of work. I would now like to ask my fellow graduates to please rise and turn towards our family, friends, and esteemed staff and join me in a round of applause to show our appreciation. And finally, to my peers, to my fellow graduates, congratulations to you all. After years of hard work and determination, we now stand here as graduates. When we first began at James Cook University, we were shown a graph which illustrated the peaks and troughs of emotions we would experience during our tertiary education, and what a roller coaster it has been. We have undoubtedly experienced the troughs of studying for exams or hitting assignment deadlines, but the trough we all did not anticipate was COVID-19. COVID-19 undoubtedly affected our education, whether it be through limited or postponed practical learning, adjusting to online study, or having limited contact with peers, family, and friends. However, we are always told to look on the bright side of life. So what did COVID-19 do for us? COVID-19 showed us we can adapt to anything we put our minds to. COVID-19 made us as individuals more resilient, more compassionate, and more resourceful. And most importantly, COVID-19 showed us by working together and caring for others, we have the power to make a difference. So here we stand today, at the top of the highest peak of that graph, as graduates, despite the adversity of a global pandemic. So please join me for the most important applause of them all, to you. Graduates, soon the ceremony will come to an end, but as you return your gowns and caps and take your respected scrolls home, remember this. The scroll you received today is your insurance policy, with the premium paid in full by all your hard work and determination over the years past. But the value of that policy solely depends on what you do with it as you now go on. So use it. Make change. Don't be scared to make mistakes and seize every opportunity. Thank you.
Chancellor, I now invite Vice Chancellor and President, Professor Simon Biggs, to deliver the closing address.
Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, university colleagues, and of course, most importantly, our graduates. It's my great privilege to deliver the final words on behalf of James Cook University. And believe me, I do understand that I am standing between you and your personal celebrations. I promise not to be here too long. Whilst today is all about recognising your achievements, please also make sure you take a moment to thank those people who make up your support network. Many of them are here cheering you on today, I am sure. Your family, your friends, your classmates, and yes, even your university lecturers deserve your gratitude. They too live the highs and lows of your achievements, and they are here for your support as you grow your potential. Graduates, not only have you gained a world-class education in your field, but the added hurdles of the pandemic have taught you an invaluable life skill: resilience. Resilience is the ability to cope and persevere in times of stress and change. It is not a skill we automatically have. You are not born with it. You must learn it and develop it. If we reflect now on your university experience over the past few years, stress and change are definitely two things you have had to endure. Through your ability to adapt to online learning, adjust to living in isolation, and in some cases mourning the loss of loved ones, you have learned how to cope and persevere. You have learned how to be resilient. Now, why is this an important life skill to have in your professional life? Let me share a couple of examples of how it can be useful. Dr. Kei-Jen Chia completed his Bachelor of Dental Surgery at JCU in 2018 and is currently practicing in his hometown of Darwin. I met him recently at an alumni event in that city. In his first year as a dentist, Kei-Jen had an experience that any fresh-faced clinician would dread, a procedure that went horribly wrong. Kei-Jen had made a partial denture with a new design he was unfamiliar with. While fitting the denture, it became stuck in the patient's mouth, causing immense pressure and pain. Unable to remove it, and with no senior colleagues available to help, he had to send the patient home overnight. Fortunately, his senior mentor was able to assist the next day, and eventually it all turned out well for the patient. At the time, Kei-Jen could have seen the patient was clearly traumatized, but so was he. Feeling he had done the worst harm a person could do, he carried the guilt and burden of making his first big mistake, which resulted in a loss of confidence, some frustration and anxiety over the coming days and weeks. This, of course, was a real-life opportunity for Kei-Jen to grow his resilience. He knew he had to do something to pull himself back from the brink. So he took steps to debrief with senior colleagues and sought counselling to process his grief. It helped him to understand that it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them and move forward in a positive way. Another graduate, Andrea Mann, is a nursing graduate and 2022 Outstanding Alumna. She told me recently of her experience advising on clinical disaster and emergency management through COVID-19. In her role as Director of Nursing at the Cape and Torres Strait Hospital and Health Service, she works with minimal resources in a geographically challenging location while balancing the extra pressures put on frontline workers. She said no one anticipated or was prepared for the length of time the pandemic would impact the health workforce. Their core group of staff kept pushing through with relentless long hours to protect their community, many of them contracting COVID themselves. After the first few months of the response phase, it became apparent that their schedule was unsustainable. Andrea was no stranger to the strong work ethic and selflessness of healthcare workers, giving so much to others that they forget often to look after themselves. She recognized her team was burning out and escalated the situation appropriately. She drew on her skills in resilience to make a change, and collectively the team secured extra resources in the unit to enable staff to take protected days off to rest, whilst encouraging the team to support each other and look for signs of fatigue. The protected days off enabled her staff to reconnect with their interests outside of work. For Andrea, it was shutting off her devices, exercising and socializing with friends. The changes made a big difference to the resilience of the team and rapidly led to staff satisfaction and increased well-being. On reflection, Andrea wishes she had enacted her coping strategies earlier in the pandemic world. What can we learn from Cajun and Andrea's experiences of bouncing back from a mistake or adapting through the pressures of a pandemic is that through adversity grows resilience. They understand that if we allow it, adversity will bring wisdom and heightened awareness in its wake. But like all of you, Cajun and Andrea will need to keep working on their resilience. So as I bring my remarks to a close, let me leave you with some essential final tools that can help you further develop this essential skill. 1. Beware of perfectionism. Throughout your career, you are bound to make mistakes, some big, some small. It is important to view them as an opportunity to learn and grow personally and professionally. Cajun says we must choose progress over perfection, striving to be a little bit better today than we were yesterday. Failure is always the precursor to success, so learn to fail forward. 2, develop good habits. Whether it be exercise, waking up early, or prioritizing family time, acts of self-discipline are also acts of self-love. Developing good habits, even when times get tough, can help us move forward. Andrea says, you must understand your own limitation, set boundaries, and understand your personal coping strategies. This is not a weakness in work performance or self-strength, but rather it is preparing oneself for the unexpected. 3, remember your why. When life and work get challenging, we need to remember why we began the journey in the first place. Reconnecting with what really matters and what really drives you will help to guide your career to a place where you will be both challenged and fulfilled. Graduates, today you join your fellow alumni and can proudly take your place in the world. Throughout your career, there will be times where you will struggle. There will be hurdles to jump and challenges to overcome. When that time comes, remember what you've achieved right here at JCU, and know that you have the professional skills and resilience to take on those challenges and be better for them. Follow your passions and make a difference. Be proud of where you've come from, as we will always be proud of you. Graduates, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Congratulations and farewell.
Chancellor, the successful staging of this ceremony is the culminative effort of many university staff. I would like to acknowledge the Examination and Ceremonies Officers for the coordination of this ceremony. On behalf of James Cook University, I extend the compliments of the season to you all. This graduation ceremony is now concluded. Will the Assembly please stand as the Chancellor leads the academic procession from the auditorium?